Hey everyone, these are your instructions for writing your very first poem on your own. At this point, you have made identity squares. You have read Introduction to Poetry by Billy Collins. We've analyzed as a class, and you've written an analytical paragraph about that text, just in case you forgot. What we're going to be doing now is using Introduction to Poetry as a template and a basis for our inspiration to write our first poem. So what you're seeing on the screen is something that your substitute teacher should be passing out right now. You can see that I actually have used some of the same phrases and beginnings of stanzas just like Billy Collins did in his original poem. However, I've taken out the majority of the text because you're going to be filling in the remainder of the text. So start by writing in your draft, I ask them to blank. And this should be one way you want them to get to know you. So on Google Classroom, there should be an assignment with a template where you can actually type your poem. You'll have to change your name and your last name, just like we do with our essays, but you can erase this part. And I'm going to go ahead and start working on this. This is all based on my identity squares that we made, so I would have that out in front of you while you're writing. But when I think about how I want people to get to know me, I ask them to see me for who I truly am. And I'm going to make a new line because I want to create a separation between what I'm about to say. But here you can see we're about to do a simile. I'm going to write like a young girl reading beneath a tree. If you remember, that was the memory that I drew in my identity square, so I'm using that as the inspiration for my simile. The next part says or, and this should be another way you want them to get to know you, and you need to use a metaphor or a simile to do that. So or, I'm thinking back to my other memories, or not my other memories, my other identity squares. I had the cliff, I had things I valued, the way I want to make a difference in the world. I think that's what I want to talk about next. And if you guys remember my square, it had two hands holding up students and books because I want to impact the world by helping my students learn to read. So I would write, or like two hands holding up a page for all to see. So I'm just kind of riffing it on the go here. You can put a little bit more thought into this. But basically what I want you to get out of this is that I'm using this template to structure my poems and my stanzas. I'm following along with these for each blank, but I'm also using my identity squares as the inspiration for my literary devices. So by the end of the hour, you should have your Introduction to Me poem typed. Again, refer to your identity squares for inspiration, and good luck.